I like this plan.
All right, so welcome, gang, to the episode 3 of the Blue Goo Review, where we're going over Remember the Cant.
Remember the Cant.
So hopefully you're all well. Victor, thank you for joining us once again, Dominion Media Television, right here.
Hey, I'm glad to be here again. First of all, are we recording?
We are recording.
We are recording. Okay, good. Just want to make sure because I've made that mistake before. Where, yeah. Anyway, and I just want to get this out of the way. Let me address the chicken on the wall? So, what do you call it? The
fly on the wall?
Elephant in the room.
Elephant
that thing.
In the room, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little out of it today, so I'm just going to apologize. I had a weird fucking night last night. So there was a thunderstorm, but it wasn't even really that bad of a thunderstorm. But it rolled in through here in Fort Worth, and the power went out last night. And it was right when I was about to start rewatching this episode to make my notes and everything. And it did, God, for like 4 hours, it kept doing this weird thing where the power would come back on, but it would flicker for a little bit and then die again. And it was like that thing. Do you remember on Sesame Street back in the day when they had the little puppet aliens? Whenever their spaceship would land, the lights would flicker on and off. That's what it felt like. Yeah. Because outside, this was at like 3 or 4 in the morning. Outside, every time the lights would come back on and then go off again, there was this loud ass noise, like you remember the Breen from Star Trek? Yeah, it sounded like fucking Breen, except really loud.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so I don't know what the hell was going on, and I couldn't get to sleep. So
obviously, Transformers were fighting near the power grid.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. They're either fighting or fucking. I don't know. So yeah, I didn't get much rest, and I just want to say I'm glad that podcasting is not an event that requires tests for performance enhancing drugs, because this is going to be 100. Isn't it? Yeah. All right. Remember the Cant.
Remember the Cant. So I just before we even dive into it, I really liked this episode.
Yes.
Despite the fact that it feels like it's very much not what the norm is going to be for the show.
That is true. I think that's true for a lot of episodes in season 1. I feel like the actors are still getting to know their characters a bit, and I feel like some of the
thread that this show kind of does the reverse, where you don't start out with a core and then get a bunch of loose threads. They start out with a bunch of loose threads that slowly start to weave in together.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this before, but this is something I like about TV shows that are based on novels, because they you know where they're going. You're not just making shit up as you go along, because that pisses me off.
Even like do that like they did with Game of Thrones sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's a unique story with Game of Thrones. It's a unique situation.
Yeah.
George R.R. Martin, if you're listening to this, fucking turn off the goddamn radio and get back to work. What are you doing, man?
Winds of Winter,
dicking around already.
That needs to come out.
Yeah, Winds of Winter, and then A Dream of Spring is supposed to be the next one. So.
Wait, he's got two more to write? I thought he was writing
at least
final one.
No, it's Winds of Winter, and then Dream of Spring was the last I heard. I don't know. Listeners, if you're out there, if you're bigger, I know we probably have some Song of Ice and Fire nerds in the audience, so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great series. I started reading it and while the show was coming out, and then I was like, well, I'll finish the show, and then I was like, okay, well, I'll pick it back up when he finishes the books, which I don't think is ever going to happen. So,
man, I'm just worried. Man, you better not pull a fucking what's the guy's name who there was a couple of them. The guy who was Robert Jordan who wrote Wheel of Time but died before he finished the last couple of novels.
I'm not sure.
And then again with Frank Herbert for Dune, like his kids had to pick it up, and I don't know. Shit got weird after the second novel, so I think he was just kind of done.
Definitely.
And then a lot of the fans are complaining about the newest ones that his son wrote, I don't know.
The HBO.
No, there's like at least 3 or 4, maybe more. I don't know. I might be remembering it wrong, but there are novels written by his son based on notes that he found after his dad died.
Right.
And a lot of fans don't like it. They don't like what Brian Herbert, I think is his name, what he did with the series. I don't know. I haven't read it.
Yeah, it's always tough.
Anyway, but remember the Cant.
Remember the Cant. So, obviously, we're gonna have our intro, our pre-session here. A couple of getting to know us questions.
Yeah.
If you could bring back a show or a movie or a franchise, which would it be and why? And how might you implement changes, or where would you like to take it?
Okay, give me a hot second. You might have to edit out this thinking because I know I've thought about this quite a bit.
Well, I can go ahead and tell you mine while you're thinking about it. So for me, it has to be Firefly. You know,
absolutely.
It has to be Firefly because we were just cut so short on what that series could have been. And I would, Serenity, the movie, would be in an alternate timeline that, like, parallel universe, whatever, multiverse it, I don't care. But, like, we can't have Wash die. We need Wash series.
Right.
So, and, just basically kind of leading into the same plot as the movie of figuring out what Miranda was and why it drove her crazy. But it would reveal that the preacher what used to be that alliance, like, headhunter assassin guy that we got in the movie. And maybe we could reintroduce that character, but for the show. And then that's why Preacher knows so much about how the Alliance operates and why they're saving his life when he shows the ident card when he's shot. And
so was that ever confirmed by Joss Whedon or any of the writers or whatever? Did they actually come out and say finally that was Shepard's secret?
I don't know. I know that they kind of dive into it in the comics, which continue the series. I'm not sure how much Joss Whedon has to do with that. And I've always that's another one of the things I'm keeping in my back pocket for a rainy day when, I need to go get the thing anyway. But, like, I just, there's so much media to consume. It's hard to stop and go pick up comic books, which isn't one of my primary forms. I do enjoy them. I love comics. But my ADHD doesn't allow me to sit and read very often because there's so many things going on that I need to focus on that, like, I just drive out all distractions and they end up qualifying more as distractions. So, but Firefly, and that's kind of where I would take it.
Good choice. Okay, yeah. All right, here's my pick. I really enjoyed Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I wish that they would have done more with that. Like the final few episodes of the final season. I think it was only 2 seasons actually, but I love the concept of it. Like that, the Terminator franchise is just something I feel has not been explored enough. And it seems like every time there's a new fucking Terminator movie, the new director they get is going to be all just like, all right, all this established lore we have, I'm going to wipe my ass with it. And we're going to start over again because time travel. It's like, quit fucking doing that, dude. And I hated the way the second season ended because they hinted at that the next season was going to take place in the future. And that's what I want. I want a Terminator series set after Judgment Day, during the fucking war with the machines. Like this, going back in time to present day, that's been done to death. Okay, I'm looking for Sarah Connor. I have to kill John Connor. I have to protect John Connor. It's done. Okay, whatever. Let's go into post-apocalypse where humanity is living in little pockets of resistance and AI is running everywhere. It's like Facebook but real life, where there's like and give me a series about that. You could even, honestly, it would just be Walking Dead. You could take The Walking Dead and replace the zombies with robots, and I'd be happy. Yes.
I mean, that would be a pretty cool series. At least, like, what I think would be cool is not so far past Judgment Day, but like a month past Judgment Day, right?
Yeah, go
That's
through
where
like
it picks up. And then it's
yeah.
because that's the whole like the real war with whoever's left over. And
Mhm.
I think, what did you think about Terminator Salvation?
That was my
I
favorite
thought it
one.
was good.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted. That's what I've been
Yeah.
wanting for so long. I mean, show me the war with the machines, even though it had, uh, actually Christian Bale was okay. Uh, yeah, no, that was a really underrated movie. I thought.
Yeah, I
I
agreed.
want more of that. And
It was
dude, come on,
pretty much
A10s,
sense.
fucking A10s, doing dogfights with hunter killers. That's the coolest shit ever. We need more of that. But yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I
And
want. Give us more Terminator.
coincidentally, both of our picks had I can't remember the actress's name at the moment, but who played
River.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
uh-huh.
and I thought she was great in that role of the Terminator, like to
Uh-huh.
protect John, and I thought that was a really interesting like I did very much enjoy that show and wish that they had got another Fox
Yeah,
project that was
of
cut too
course.
short by executives who pissed their pants at the
Uh-huh.
possibility of losing money.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's like, okay, let's do another fucking CSI spinoff instead. Jack wagons. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
All right. So, what if
what if?
Earth, Mars, or the Belt? Who's David Lister signing up for?
Oh, he's definitely a belter. Actually, I think he's kind of like James Holden. He started out on Earth, and much like the rest of the crew of the Canterbury, he's running from problems back home. Probably has a ton of gambling debt. Or actually, in Red Dwarf, uh, he destroyed the Earth economy because before he got put into stasis, and because of an accident on the ship, he was he was supposed to be in stasis for like 3 weeks, but because of everyone on the ship died while he was in stasis from a radiation leak, he ended up staying in stasis for 3 million years. Uh, Before he left Earth, he left a light on in the bathroom, which means he ran up his electric bill for that entire time and destroyed the Earth's economy. That's part of, so yeah, he's running from problems back home, so he signed up on the Canterbury. And there is one great thing about Lister is that even though he's a space slob and a bum, he loves his cat Frankenstein. I mean, that's the whole reason he went into stasis, because he refused to hand over his stowaway cat. So yeah, he went into stasis to save it. And then this cat had kittens, and those kittens had more kittens, and I like to think the radiation mutated them somehow and kicked off their evolution, and they eventually evolved into an entire Felis sapiens society. And they worship Lister as their god because he was the one who gave his life so that Frankenstein may live.
That's fantastic.
That is such a good show. So I'm going to say that he's anyway, yeah, that's what's going on with him.
So he's the belter, you think now?
Yeah, he's on the Canterbury, and he was on the Canterbury, and he's with the crew that escaped, and he brought his cat with him because he takes Frankenstein everywhere, and yeah, he got captured by the Martians with everyone, and he like I said, he's a slob, but he has a heart of gold, especially for his cat, and he has thrown a fit there in the brig on the Donager, saying he just wants a can of tuna for his cat. He wants to feed his cat. And he's like, you're gonna give me a bloody can of tuna, or I'm gonna take a shite right here on the floor. I've been eating curry all day. That's a terrible accent that I'm doing. It doesn't sound like him at all. he's like, I swear to my holy knickers, I'm gonna take a shite right here on the floor. That's what he's doing, and the Martians are panicking. It's like, get this guy some fucking tuna for his cat. Oh my god. So, yeah.
Speaking of cat, right behind.
Yeah, that's Daisy's being a brat. I think she knows that she can get whatever she wants out of me if she bothers me while I'm podcasting, because I just want to get her to shut up. So yeah.
So same question for Lando, and I would say in a similar vein, Lando's going to be, a smuggler out in the belt. I think
Hey, all right.
Lando might have started as, being from Earth or maybe being from Mars, probably Earth.
Probably Earth, yeah.
And then he's just like, I'm too smooth for this place.
Yeah, I don't see Lando being comfortable in Mars society. They're too rigid and strict for his.
But that might have been a good origin as to why he would leave it, right?
That's why he would let. Oh, that would be good.
Such a single-minded society, and he's just like, dude, I don't care about turning this red, dusty planet into a green garden. I'm gonna get out of here and make some deals.
Yeah.
That
could kind of work, because out of all the three factions, the Martians are the best, or the well-dressed, the most well-dressed.
Well, I mean, you got to give it up to Christian, because Avasarala.
Avasarala is pretty awesome. Yeah, everyone else on Earth sucks. So.
Yeah, everybody else is pretty basic, suit and tie. Just white people clothes. And then, all right, now comes our trivia.
Oh yeah, bring it. Love trivia.
The Expanse shares something in common with the Amazon show The Boys. Do you know what that is?
This I actually have no clue. What is it?
All right, so the building used for the interior shots of UN headquarters in The Expanse is the same one used for the interiors of Vought headquarters in The Boys.
Oh, that's interesting.
They use the same building, the same set. Because it's so kind of future administration look like.
It's kind of like that. It's one of those buildings that looks futuristic. Okay, cool. So it's kind of like the modern day. What is that thing called? That was, the building I'm talking about. Was used for everything. Was used for a lot of sci-fi stuff. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
The Space Needle.
No, the Power Rangers headquarters. They used it in Star Trek.
That's an observatory.
That was an observatory, is what it was?
I believe so.
That was some kind of science building.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I to my recollection, but that could be totally wrong. That could just be what I assigned it as a kid. I have no idea.
Anyway, yeah.
But they do that a lot, and it's an interesting. And this was before the series was even owned by Amazon. This is when it was still
cool.
A show.
Yeah.
So just something that's interesting. That might have been why they used it for The Boys, because they're like, oh, hey, we have experience. This has experience in this spot, and that's exactly what we're looking for. We just changed the angles.
Nice.
But all right, so now we are going to dive right into Remember the Cant.
Remember the Cant. So the story picks up with Holden's message being broadcast all over series. We get some shots of various belters checking out the broadcast.
Got the guy with the voice box. I need that amplifier, that vocal amplifier.
No, this guy, I feel, was also another thread that wasn't picked up. I mean, the story of he's just credited as the Gaunt Belter in the credits. But yeah, I call him Radio Free Belter. That he just had a lot of scenes, and he had a lot of presence in the first season, and then he just kind of disappeared. I thought he was going to have more of a role in the entire series, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I remember what happens to Series Station, I'm pretty sure we all know is the end of how the story ends. So.
Yeah, he had a cameo in the final season, but I think it was before shit went south on Series.
Yeah.
Well, that's what, that is something we can talk about once we get to the final season, because that's a ways off. But yeah. Speaking of unresolved threads. So.
But yeah, no, that intro, and it's so funny because you can see how angry 99% of the people in the opening scenes are, and how scared and concerned the 1% that are the cops that are lingering around about this situation, because they're like, oh great, now we're sitting in the middle of the powder keg. This is exactly how I wanted my day to be.
Yeah. Now, in the another big difference from the books is that this whole civil unrest on series was a lot more serious and a lot more drawn out. Like
Yeah.
the Star Helix guys, they were digging in for a long, protracted siege, basically, and it was like anarchy all over the station.
Yeah.
It was pretty detailed, but yeah, there's a couple of points that I want to touch on, but they come a little later, and they well, actually, yeah, let me see. Okay, edit that out. Yeah, uh, and then back on, uh, yeah, back on series. Miller is still continuing his search for Julie Mao, even though his boss told him to drop it. He
Which
tracks down Anderson
that's
Dawes.
something too, because like, first of all, he's still using her apartment.
Oh, he is, isn't he?
When, like, later in the episode, when he's like, "I'm gonna go take a break. I'll be back in an hour." He goes to look into a lead, and then he goes back to Julie's apartment. You can tell because the furniture is way
Is
nicer.
way nicer, yeah.
If he's still using her apartment, because why the hell
Yeah.
not? Really nice one. But also that the the chief or whoever is the head of Star Helix in that for Sirius Station tells him like, dude, just close the case and get your bonus. Like he's
Right.
just been done, and nobody would have cared, except that he knows. First of all, he points out like, dude, you know, OPI, they know I'm looking for somebody, right? And if we just drop this, they're gonna like, they might think that we're weak or take advantage of that, like, and press like they have an advantage to press. She doesn't care, and he's just like, dude, we can't just drop this case. We need to like figure out what the hell's going on here.
Right.
So kudos to him.
Yeah. So meanwhile, the survivors of our heroes from the Canterbury, they're being interrogated on the Martian warship. They're all put in separate holding cells. Now this is good and bad at the same time. Like, okay, what you're supposed to do when you take prisoners is, yes, you're supposed to separate them, but they leave their communications on. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because the Martians are trying to interrogate them, so they're listening in, but they can all communicate with each other with the cells. Like they left the walkie-talkies on or the intercoms on inside their cells. So okay, never mind. It does make sense because yeah, the Martians are trying to get information out of them.
Right.
So they're listening in.
James points that out. Holden says like, shut up. They're
listening. Yeah.
Talk to each other for a reason. That reason is because they like, it's a smart thing to do because they aren't a team. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? So once Shed starts talking and saying things, Holden goes, shut up. You're saying things, and we don't want them to know things that we can't control, right?
And then Amos, of course, starts talking shit.
Well, Amos gets all angry because they put hands on Naomi.
Oh yeah.
So he flips out, and then they like fucking tase his ass and give him a sedative. Pretty effective.
Yeah. So then we also have this the B plot back on Earth with Avasarala poking around trying to figure out more information about the stolen stealth composites.
Yeah.
And she pulls a total fucking brilliant but sleazy move and fucks over her childhood friend, the Martian ambassador.
I mean, he was older, like he was friends with her father, right? So, but it shows you how she doesn't care about people. Like she really she'll throw anybody under the bus as long as it serves her purpose.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you can give her a little bit of forgiveness in that, she's doing it to prevent a war.
It's, she is kind of, she is got like the pragmatism of a Vulcan because in the end, she saved millions of lives because of her actions, but she fucked over a few people in the process that didn't
Well,
deserve to be fucked over, right?
if you think about it, she didn't really do anything except speed up the timeline. She was
That's
continuing
true.
pushing in the very first scene that she's in episode 3. She is pushing the chief of staff, one of the chiefs of staff, to redeploy the Navy, to say
Right.
you need to be in a defensive position in case Mars is about to attack. And he's like, that is a stupid thing to do because it's going to provoke them. And we don't know what's going on. So we need to figure out what's going on. And because the Joint Chiefs of Staff will not do this.
Yeah.
Right. So she's like, okay, I need to figure out a way so that I can convince them to do this. And to do that, I'm going to tell this guy who's got the connection, and then we're going to trace it. But what they learn from that is, holy shit, Mars isn't behind this at all. And they have more stealth facilities than we thought.
Yeah.
Earth comes out on top in that situation, which is good in a sense, but realistically, they would probably have figured that out through their own channels anyway. At the very least, that Mars wasn't behind it. She just, boom, I want my answer right now.
Yeah.
And it gets an answer she doesn't expect. And then she changes her stance, which is great. Because what it means that she's not like driving towards war. She doesn't want war. She's like, okay, sweet. This isn't Mars. We can like cool our jets a little bit here.
Yeah. And I really like Admiral Souther because he's like, cool, slow your fucking roll.
These are real people that we have in these ships, and if you do anything wrong, we're gonna get them killed. And I do like that he is sticking up for his troops.
He's all just like, okay, it's real easy for you fucking politicians to make all these stupid decisions when you're not the ones who have to pay the price. Anyway, I really liked Admiral Souther.
We don't really get a good. We get very little in terms of what Earth's government really looks like.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of Earth.
From this whole series, the one thing that remains to me is that it seems to hold with Babylon 5's Earth structure, right? They don't call it Earth Gov because they're not out expanded past the solar system.
It's the UN.
So it's still the UN, right? Because Babylon 5 takes place further in the future, like, and also the interstellar travel where we can go to other star systems, which obviously but isn't there yet.
No, I think it's around the same time. It's just that their future tech is a lot more futury than the Expanse. Because crazy thing, the Expanse and Star Trek: The Next Generation take place in roughly the same years.
Right.
Yeah. I think Babylon 5 is the same. It's like the 2200s. Anyway, that's not important. I'm just a nerd about this shit. So.
I can't remember what year it was, but I think it is the. I think it's in the 3000s.
Wait, what?
It doesn't matter. Babylon 5, I can't.
It's Babylon 5 is like they have the year on big numbers on the opening credits.
I know,
it's
which is why I can't remember.
2261, I think. It's 22 or 23.
Now.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 2260.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, is when it supposedly takes place. But it's like
the 23
technologically they're
it's way more advanced.
Further ahead. Right. In many ways. But
so back on series Havelock and Miller get bothered by a Mormon.
Yeah. And which is hilarious because you're like, oh damn, there's still Mormons? But, oh dude, there's still Mormons. Like,
yeah.
Wait.
Space Mormons, damn it.
Space Mormons. Which it just evokes that episode of South Park where they got like the Christians built their spaceship. They got what's the the Ethiopian's name, and all he does is like Starvin' Marvin. They get Starvin'
Yeah.
Marvin, and then he like takes the spaceship. These aliens come down and visit, and it's just like Marklar, the Marklars. But then the Christian starship shows up, and it's just like, what the hell is going on? That is exactly what these Mormons feel like to me.
Yeah. Did I tell you I was born into a Mormon church?
Wonderful.
Yeah, no, I left that shit when I was when I was like an early teenager.
Yeah.
But it boggles my mind because my mother got back into it, and whenever I talk to her, she's all just like, "Oh, you remember Sarah from high school? Yeah, I saw her at church the other day." And I'm just like, she's still going to that fucking church? Like she hasn't figured out it's a scam yet? I mean, what the hell? How are you guys still? Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's
Sorry, Mormon listeners, if I've offended you, but don't at me. So I don't want to hear it.
It depends on where you go. It's funny because in my Boy Scout group when I was a kid, met at a Mormon church.
There's a lot of Mormons in the Boy Scouts.
My dad was like, nah, we're not gonna do this anymore after like 1 year. And I was like, all right. I mean, I lived in the neighborhood right around the church, so I would like climb up on the roof and shit all the time, which might be a weird thing to do, but like
no, that was what we did back in the 80s and 90s.
It was a low roof. I mean, it was only like 10 foot high. It wasn't that hard to get up to. I don't know how I did it. I probably couldn't do it now, but when I was a kid, it was easy. But yeah, it's just funny. And no offense to any Mormons, not trying to put you down. That you do you.
Yeah, you do you.
My dad was like, "That's not us," and I was like, "Okay." Like, I guess some of the parents were a little weird. Is kind of.
I will say, the last time I went to go visit my mother down in Lockhart, she asked me to go to. I appreciate that she asked me to go to church with her, and I compromised her. Every like third or fourth Sunday they have a little potluck. So I'm like, I'll go to the potluck. I'm not saying
there you
go. And very friendly people, I got to say though. Made some good acquaintances there. They were all really friendly, and yeah. So okay, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
we're all good here.
Nice,
we're all happy
my
here.
experience. But yeah, the Mormons in this show are just
Space Mormons.
They're there,
Yeah, we'll have way more to talk about with the Space Mormons.
Yeah, more Space Mormons to come. Don't worry.
And then so after they put their boss on the Mormons emailing list.
That was great. Oh
That's
man,
savage.
And he gets real forgetful. So make sure you keep.
Yeah, you keep calling him. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. I need to do that to some people I don't like. Anyway.
Right.
So and in the middle of all this, gosh, I forgot her name. I think it was Octavia, was Miller's ex-girlfriend, cop girl with the curly hair. She is she's there on like moonlighting, trying to make sure a riot doesn't break out, and someone smashes a bottle right above her head. And she's like, "What the fuck?" And Miller's like, "Oh, you got this," like, you dick.
Yeah. He runs off, and she's like, "You're not gonna help," and he's like, "No, you got it." He went that way.
Yeah.
Well, what's also funny is that I'm pretty sure they're the same rank, if you will. They're both detective.
I think so. Yeah.
Neither has seniority over the other, essentially. But she was assigned to lead that group as they were, going around because she's the only one he listens to.
Yeah, I like that. I like that tidbit. Yeah.
The series, all the stuff that goes on in series is like, it's just this developing powder keg.
Yeah. Now, this is the point I wanted to talk about with where it's very different from in the book. So, something that I wish they would have brought over to the TV show, but I understand they got to cut things out for time, was that shit was really heating up on series. The civil disobedience and disturbances were going on to try to implement a curfew. The captain, I don't remember if it's actually Shadid in the books, but the boss says, "All right, we're going red alert. Everyone, get the riot gear. We're going to go bust some heads." So Miller takes his crew down to the armory for Star Helix, and they open up to get the riot gear, and it's empty. all their gear got stolen.
Oh,
Right? It's gone. So shit starts to get really bad on series. They're like, well, fuck. Later, we find out in the book that you remember how last episode he was what's his name? The kid who was stealing the water.
yeah.
He was giving him a shakedown, and the kid explained that all the Grigas, the previous gang, they packed up and left.
Yeah.
Well, they're the ones who stole the riot gear.
Right.
We find out that that's because that was all part of Protogen's plan, hiring these goons from all over the belt to work for, I think it was CPX, I think was the name of the security firm or whatever. I think it actually might be called Pinkwater in the books. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But that's what they needed. They hired these guys, and they needed riot gear for their eventual plan, their doomsday plan on Eros. So
Right.
so it was a pretty cool little you get little bits of information about this big conspiracy from Protogen in the books. I like that part.
Yeah.
Plus,
No,
that would have been like a big oh shit moment with
yeah.
riots going down.
It kind of sucks that they cut that out because, like, literally, there's a guy who's like, "Let's go bust some OPI heads,
Yeah.
PA heads," and the captain's like, "You ain't gonna fucking do that. I'm gonna
Right.
rip to shit. All right,
Right.
you're gonna be suspended without pay with my dick up your ass." And then so they're just like, "Okay, fine, we won't do that then." So they
Right.
just totally subverted that entire
Yeah.
little subplot.
Right. And back on the Donninger, we meet my favorite Martian, Lopez, dude. Lopez, you're fucking awesome, dude. He's so weird.
Dude, I love it when he takes acid.
Yes. That is such a strange thing. And I like that they never fully explain it. They
They
show, don't tell. He takes the drugs, his pupils get all weird, and
And
he
it's
starts
like,
talking at him like an android.
belt,
And
belt.
yeah,
It's like
I think
such a
and
weirdo.
he's like that all the time. I think it's because he's taken too many of those focus drugs over the years. That
And I've seen this actor before. I can't remember what but
he
he always
was in.
has this lizard quality to him.
He does. He was also in. He also played a Martian in Ad Astra. That
Oh yeah.
The what's his name? Brad Pitt. It's basically Apocalypse Now in space.
Right.
Pretty good movie. I liked it, but yeah. But he was on Mars and that. Yeah, Greg Burke. He's been in a few things. I want to say he was actually in. I think he was also in Terminator: Sarah Connor Chronicles. Actually, I might be wrong. I might be thinking of someone else. But yeah, I gotta say, in
one of the episodic characters, not a. I don't think he was a regular. He wasn't the Terminator. I know that.
Yeah.
Either of them.
If I ever did an Aliens reboot, this guy would play Bishop.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
I'm on that. But yeah, it's so funny. Like, just he becomes the what do they call it? The autonomic response test, or
the Turing test. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, the true or false test for people, whatever they fucking call that.
Right.
And then so he like basically becomes like able to tell.
Polygraph. He's a human polygraph. Yeah. Yeah, and it makes sense too. You get someone isolated, you observe the fuck out of them, and you hit them with a bunch of questions. Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. So, in a really weird and uncomfortable way.
What I think would be a little interesting is to know whether or not that actually is just like, because clearly what it does is it heightens your senses, right? It allows you to observe all the little things that's the human,
and it's zooming in on like Naomi's eye movements and shit, and
yeah, but it doesn't necessarily tell you, like, it doesn't necessarily make you the greatest interrogator ever. Like, I'm sure a lot of that is a combination of the sensory information he's able to be provided by the drug, and then his training, his intelligence, and his personality as an interrogator goes along with that.
Yeah. Oh, this might be what you recognize him from. This actor also played the Orion guy in Strange New Worlds, who was the on the science ship. It was it was in the Lower Decks crossover episode.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I mean,
Oh shit! And he was also in one of my favorite movies of all time, Weirdsville, in 2007. Have you seen that one, Mike?
so
It's such a good fucking movie. It's very underrated. It's exactly what it is. Anyway, I'll talk about
I'm gonna have
Weirdsville
to
some
check it
other
out.
time. Yeah,
Maybe
streaming free on the Roku channel.
we
Yeah.
should do a watch on what the fuck is that app called that I can't remember right now that everybody uses all the time?
Discord.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
We should
That
do a
might be
watch
fun.
for Discord on that.
Sweet. Speaking of movies, also this episode is where we get introduced to Anderson Dawes back on series. Jared Harris, my man, he's been on a bunch of good stuff. He was my favorite role of his was in son of a bitch. I always forget the name of this movie, but it was a horror movie about ghosts. And he was a paranormal investigator. And if I look up Jared Harris.
I'm pretty sure. I think he plays David Robert Jones in Fringe. I think that's the character.
Oh yes, that's right. Oh man, Fringe.
One of my favorites of his.
That's another one that I would bring back if I could.
Yeah, well,
Fringe.
you can't bring back Fringe. It's over.
You can't. Yeah, it's true. They ended it well. I got to say, Fringe. It's one of the few shows I think that wrapped up really nice. But yeah, Jared Harris. My favorite role of his was in The Quiet Ones.
Yeah.
Excellent 2014 horror movie.
Nice.
It's also got what's her name? What is her name? The fucking Queen Alicent in Game of Thrones. She plays a possessed girl. Anyway, God, I know way too much.
Yep.
I know way too much about movies.
Dude.
All right.
Yeah, no, Fringe holds up too. Every time
Fringe is really fucking good.
It's like there's very, very few questions that I can come up with to challenge the plot and how things go.
It's so complicated too. Oh man, and I got to say, Leonard Nimoy and what's his name? Let's make some LSD.
Oh
the
yeah,
professor.
The guy who plays Walter. He plays Denethor in Lord of the Rings. He's a phenomenal actor. I cannot remember his name.
Yeah,
but he's phenomenal.
Him and Leonard Nimoy had such fucking chemistry together, dude. The two
and
of them.
Leonard Nimoy's only in like a couple of episodes of the show.
Oh, dude, every episode that he was in, it just felt like him and Walter had been friends for decades, man. They were buddies, and it was just so good. I dare say my Star Trek fans are going to come after me for this, but it was a better buddy bromance than Kirk and Spock. I'm saying it. I'm planting my flag. I'm dying on the hill.
I can get on board with that because while I love, all right, the JJ Star Treks are entertaining, but they're not Star Trek core. You know what I mean? So here's my thing on JJ Abrams, right? When he's touching an original work like Fringe was, he does an excellent job.
That is a good point.
Such as a franchise like Star Trek or Star Wars, they turn into shit.
Yep.
Because
do your own things. Quit touching my toys. Get your own toys, JJ.
When JJ does that, he just pushes the nostalgia button as hard as he can, and he says, "Hey, can we get a bigger nostalgia button in here? I need a bigger nostalgia button to push. This one's not big enough. It needs to be bigger." And it's just like, dude, you can't just do the same thing over again, especially when there's a treatment for it that you could have used from George Lucas's goddamn self. Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. So,
but speaking of here nor there, just real quick, go back and watch the first episode of Fringe, and you will see just how much J.J. Abrams is in there. There are so many lens flares.
So many.
For no fucking reason. For no reason at all, dude.
But even still, it was tolerable. And what I love about Fringe is that it's an unofficial continuation of the X-Files.
It does feel like that a lot.
Well,
that's what
reference the X-Files in one of the episodes. They're sitting in Congress, and Broyles is sitting there, and they're like, it's like the old X Division.
Oh man.
And it's a direct reference to the X-Files, as if to say they closed them. And then
Damn,
what
dude.
they do later on is they reopen them when they have these issues for the remake that they did a couple years ago. But it was just like, dude, this fits right in. And Fox's X-File universe is huge.
I've been meaning to rewatch it. There's I think it might actually be on Wikipedia, but there's a list out there of X-Files episodes you can skip that because I want to watch the ones that just contribute to the main storyline of the alien colonization and all that shit.
Then you miss so many good, like, it's hard to watch. I've tried going back and watching all of the X-Files, and at some point it always inevitably drops off for whatever my life is doing. But there are so many, just like 1 or 2 episodes every season that have nothing to do with anything, but are absolutely fucking hysterical.
Like the murder, the inbred murder hillbillies, like
like in their comeback episodes, there was one about a shape-shifting guy from the forest who one day just like somehow became a person and went in and opened a shop and lived as a human for a couple of years, and then it was like discovered, and he's played by the manager of the Flight of the Conchords.
I never saw that one.
Oh God, I can't remember his name, but he's a New Zealander, and he's absolutely hysterical. And he's just like, okay, I'm gonna go back to doing what I do now, and skips away in the forest, and it's just like, what? Okay, that was great. Absolutely hysterical. Doesn't make any sense, but I loved it. So, yeah. And
I think they even had a salt vampire at one point on the X-Files.
Yeah. They did a lot of weird shit on the X-Files. Some worked, some not so well.
I should go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Anyway, back on the Doniger.
Back to the Expanse.
Yeah. Holden gets out of his his creepy first date with Lopez, and finds Alex just got out of the spa room. And he's toweling off, and he's got his fresh Martian bathrobe on and everything. And they're like, "What the fuck, dude? What the fuck?" And I like this. I like this because at first you think he's a mole or something, but it's actually a really good explanation. He's just a fellow veteran, and it makes sense that they let him clean up out of respect. It's like, I like that. They let him go to the USO. get him his free coffee and shit. The Martian USO,
and you can tell that they also gave him a briefing during that time and debriefed him. You know what I mean? To say, all right, what's going on? And then he gives his interpretation, and they take that on faith because he was a former officer who left in good state.
I think Lopez still gave him the interrogation treatment though, because later we see they do the same thing to Bobby. Although Bobby was in a unique circumstance. So,
yeah, she was under questioning for just.
We'll get to that, but at the very least, they were definitely more polite to him than they were the rest of the crew.
He may have obscurely taken the drug before he talked to Alex, so he could see.
I like that. I like that headcanon.
He's just hey, I need to debrief you. Let's just talk real quick while you're, shaving, whatever. And it's able to sit there and gauge his responses and say, no, this seems above board to me. So, all right, I'm going to go leave you alone and grab Holden. And then they do get each one of them. We don't see Shed.
We only see Naomi and Holden's interrogation. Right. But I do love, oh man.
Well, they had to debrief Alex and give him information because they told him about Holden and how he honorably did.
Well, they did that with everyone, because we get my favorite Shed moments in this entire series when he comes back and he sees Alex. They're like, "What the hell, dude? Did you sign up?" And Shed's like, "What? That's an option."
Yeah.
And then Shed's backstory about, oh god, I know I'm just gonna repeat it to people who've already seen it, but I love that scene where they're like, yeah, they told me Naomi's an opiate terrorist. They're like, they'll tell us anything, man. They told me that you're an ex-drug dealer and you're not really a medic.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Well, that's true. It's the fucking best moment ever, dude. Shed, rest in peace, brother.
I know, and it's funny because I just watched episode 4, and it's just like, we'll
Yeah.
get to that later though.
Shed, he was so good. I did a meme once of you know, on DMTV sometimes they have the Enterprise game night where they're playing D&D,
Yeah.
and it was
Titan's
like
always the dungeon
someone,
master.
yeah, someone got injured and they're like, okay, you're injured. I'm like, okay, I call for a medic, and the first guy rolls a 20, and it's the EMH from Voyager shows up. And the next guy, okay, I need a medic too, and he rolls and he gets a 1 and it's Shed.
Perfect.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, they
Is your DM though?
you know what?
God forbid Mirror Guinan is your DM though.
Oh yeah, she's the best. Yeah. So yeah, the altercation breaks out in the holding cell. And Holden's like, okay, all right, I'll talk. And then he doesn't really talk. You know, they take him to the bridge, and meets Captain Yao, which I love Captain Yao again.
Yeah.
By the way, so many great characters in this episode die.
Well, yeah, all of the there's a lot of really awesome members of this crew that we don't get to do anything but meet very quickly and like. You know what I mean?
I would totally be down for
a you.
Yeah, I would totally be down for a Captain Yao prequel series of her just fucking blowing the shit out of pirates, you know?
The 5 years where she's blowing the shit out of pirates in the belt, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. These are the voyages of the MCRN Donager. It's 5-year mission.
What needs to happen is all of these studios need to hire us as writers to continue their shows, because
you know, it's before too long. I hate to say it. I mean, AI is annoying and stupid, but we're getting there to where we're not. You know, it's here, and pretty soon we're going to be able to make our own fan movies without the need of actors and everything.
Well, that's true. I thought you were going to go the other.
I'm banking on that to make my Star Trek movie focused on Sulu after that takes place after Undiscovered Country.
Sulu captaining the Excelsior.
The Excelsior, yeah. And oh man, I'm
and like there's that whole lost era.
I better not get into it because I'll spend another hour talking. But
absolutely. That needs to be another discussion though for our extra Patreon material.
So we're basically at the end of the episode though, because it ends up Miller finds the footage of Julie fighting with her ex-boyfriend on the docks, and
then we find this Tinder date of her
this corpse
dead on the floor after the big riot breaks out and starts to calm down. So that's what we don't see. We see the riot start, and then we see the aftermath of the riot, and then that's where
this was a whole thing that lasted weeks in the book. And I don't remember if Havelock had his little romance with the sex worker, the tall belter girl, Gia, I think is her name. We see that he's been seeing her to get belterless. Now, what do you think? What's your take on this? Is he really trying to learn to speak belter, or does he just want to? Is he just trying?
I think he's genuine, because we see it in his interview or little meeting with the the mayor's aide or whoever the fuck that guy was, who's about the garden and the water.
The cactus.
And he's like, why do you automatically assume that it's a belter, that a belter is a criminal here? Because that's what they all are. They're all
right.
Tell this guy's prejudice and how uncomfortable that made Havelock and how much he stained that. And I mean, Miller's just sitting there going, yeah, but that doesn't mean you get to treat him like shit, right? So he's kind of like right between.
Good guy, Miller. Yeah.
And so, but that really shows you that he cares, and he's like, he's there to try to do what he thinks is best. But that's the kind of arrogance that these people fucking hate. And that's what he doesn't realize. And it's like, it's really awesome for him to sit there and want to learn their language and their gestures and
It makes sense. That would make his job a little easier if he can actually communicate
Right,
with
but you
belters. So
don't learn those things from a prostitute in a room. You learn those things by repeating your beat, right? Like there's a great episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine in one of the NBC later seasons where Captain Holt's been demoted back to a beat officer because he didn't spend a year on the streets like is the minimum. He was promoted too quickly. So his nemesis demotes him. So he spends months on the beat and just going past and talking to the same people every day. And then
what show was this?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Which is it's a cop comedy, and it's
right, yeah,
one of the few that isn't like an arrogant cop comedy, you know what I mean?
right.
And so it comes up that Hitchcock, one of the characters, is getting married to this Russian-speaking chick who they met in a bar, and anyway, it doesn't matter. He's always getting married. And they're arguing. She's arguing with her family, and Captain Holt's interpreting, and they're like, "Whoa, we didn't know you spoke Russian." He's like, "I didn't really either, but I guess from walking the beat over and over again and speaking to these people, I've picked up enough of this language."
Yeah. Well, it makes sense to me because she's a belter. She's the most belter you can possibly get, and in an environment there that's very hostile towards Earthers, it makes sense that he would go to a sex worker to learn it. It's like, okay, hey, I'm paying you for your time. This is what I want you to do.
I think what it really signals is his loneliness.
Also that, yes, he needs a friend. So it's like, hey, I'll pay you to be my friend.
And the reason that it's not a good idea to learn these things from a teacher, to hire someone to teach you these things, and it's better to learn by experience is because of exactly what happened to him at the end of the episode.
I feel like that would have happened either way, though, because if he tried to go learn it on the beat, there's a good chance that he just would have got himself killed.
But it was the reaction that they had.
Him trying to do it, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, dude,
yeah,
you are just sad because we don't speak.
Well, it was only his second or third day, So
No.
But either way, they did mention Ceres is. Oh wait, no, Eros is the murder capital of the belt, but Ceres is probably at least in the top 10, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, and it's like they just
not
don't
much
need
better.
him to speak that language because they understand it, right?
Honestly, he should have just stuck with Miller. I mean, even though he's a crooked ass cop, it would have kept him alive.
He was in that district is because that's where his prostitute was.
Yeah. No, I will say. So go ahead. TMI warning. Well, not really TMI, but I will say that back in my mid-20s, I want to say maybe early 30s, I did hire a sex worker to be my personal trainer. not like that. I mean, I know what that sounds.
Totally different,
but I was desperately trying to lose weight from a job and get back into shape, and I knew. See, personal trainers are really fucking expensive.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. And the problem was, I didn't need a trainer. I knew what I had to do.
You just
I knew the exercises. I just needed the motivation and the accountability. And none of my friends have fucking motivation or accountability. They're flaky as fuck. So I couldn't find anyone to work out with me. So I was like, I could pay $300 an hour for a personal trainer, or I just went on Craigslist and I found it. So I was like, look, here's my proposition. I've got this Planet Fitness membership. Look, I don't need you to coach me or anything. Just, come pick me up. It's like a mile up the road. And I know my caveman lizard brain. I will push myself harder if there's a hot girl there, and you can use you can use my membership for free, and I'm paying you for your time. And, so she was like, no, hold up. She was all just like, no, hold on, let me get this straight.
Oh, yeah.
This is all you want. You don't want me to give you a blowjob afterwards or anything. I'm like, no, just come work out with me.
You want to.
And it worked, dude. I gotta say, it worked. It was a lot cheaper than getting a real personal trainer.
That is excellent. And I do just want to say, I am very sex worker positive, right? Like,
hell yes.
I feel like
legalize it.
If we legalized it, it would be safer for these people. It would be like we could have a system in place that protects them from being abused. And
you get a union going, get healthcare benefits.
In the world, it's not going away.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so let's make an environment where people who obviously, like, dude, you got all these politicians, business owners getting caught with the weirdest fucking people, and they're 9 times out of 10 paid sex workers, and
Right.
that's okay.
Yeah.
What, like, but don't be shaming them.
No. What's not okay is when these senators are fucking cracking down on it and for crime, and then they're
Don't
paying
be punishing them and hiring them.
paying a woman in leather stilettos to tie their balls up with a rubber band. So it's like, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I agree. And crazy thing, but actually, I'm talking out my ass, but I'm pretty sure that sex workers in Europe have a lower rate of STDs than the common person because they have to get tested.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, I might be wrong about that. Edit it out if
but
Google
it's an
tells you I'm
interesting
different.
point.
Yeah.
Whether right
Anyway.
or wrong, it's an interesting point of discussion.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah. More sex.
More sex.
All right, yeah. So speaking of and while we're on the subject, we end our episode with Havelock getting nailed.
Yeah, boom. Gets exactly
Ding.
what he was looking for.
Yep.
And you sit there and you go, man, I really liked him. He was, like I said, he was a genuine guy, and he cared about what was going on around him, which is how you want a police officer to be. You don't want some ambivalent asshole who's just gonna, wield his authority like a fucking metal dick. Like, you want a fucking caring person who's not gonna necessarily break your balls, but is gonna sit there and be like, yo, bro, like, I'm here to keep everybody safe.
Yeah. And this is another plot thread that they didn't pick up. There's so many unfinished threads in season 1. I wanted to know more about what happened to Havelock after, because we don't see him after this season. I think he doesn't even make it to the end of the season. Like,
yeah. Well, I know that
he's only in like a few episodes.
4.
Yeah. But another thing in the books, so later, Havelock does show up again in the books, like 2 or 3 books later when we get to, I think it's season 4 in the show, where they go to Illis through the ring gates, and there's that tension on the planet between the Belter colonists and fucking Burn Gorman, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
In the books, Havelock is part of the security crew for Burn Gorman. He's on the ship, so he comes back in the book. So it's a shame that they didn't bring him back in the show too. But that I can understand why they didn't. I can respect that decision, because that's a little too convenient. Because space is a big fucking place, and he just happens to be on the one ship that our main characters are on as well. So,
but if you think about what he goes through,
he wants a new job. He wants a safer job.
I want to be something calm and just out of the way. I want to get out of the solar system.
Yeah. I don't want to get stapled to anything.
Yeah. And those cosmic coincidences that make life special.
That is very true. Well, speaking of cosmic coincidences, we are at the end of our episode here. Tiger Mike, how would you rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 9 planets? Because there are 9 planets! Sorry.
There are 9 planets. Pluto isn't one of them, but there are 9.
Oh, fuck you, man. you non-Plutonian. You Plutophobe.
I love Pluto. And I want Pluto to be around forever and ever. I never want Pluto to go away. However, when you look at the relative size, and then you look at other objects in its orbit... Horse shit! We will have this debate some other time on a Patreon bonus episode. What's wrong with planets? We'll have the great Pluto debate. Many planets deserve love too. All right. Anyway. Okay, so what do you think of this episode? How would you rate it? I would rate it as a solid... I'll give it a solid... out of 9, I'll give it a solid 7. Okay. Because there isn't a lot of action in it, and so what's going on in space is very mild in terms of, like, here's a spaceship in front of a planet, here's Ceres Station, you know what I mean? And it's all very pretty and it's all cool, but there's no action, Well,
Eh,
I don't consider the
not much.
riots to be action, and at the end they nail Havelock, but it's not really an action sequence. It's we got guys who are way bigger than
Yeah,
you. We're
it's a
gonna.
murder sequence
It's more
basically.
like a
Yeah,
sequence than anything else because it's
yeah.
you have
We
no control over what's going on, and you don't end up dying.
yeah.
So, spoiler warning, but
And there, and there were some scenes with, but there were some scenes with the riots going on, like people throwing glass bottles and shit.
but it wasn't too serious.
But it wasn't much. Yeah, it was
It's not
very
like
quick.
a fight scene. It's not like what we get
So
in episode 4.
right.
And so for
Here's
that,
another. I mean, we can save this for the next episode, but I did want to say, speaking of Havelock, when he gets the notice on his phone, I'm not sure. I'll have to rewind it to see if, but I think Gia texted him, or was that just a regular alert, like that all the cops get saying that there's rioting down in the red light district?
I feel like they did, but it's interesting to think about it because my question is to Gia's motivations, right? Because she's a prostitute. She's going to be nice to the client when the client's in front of her face, right?
Yeah.
But the look that she gives him when he walks away that last time when things are starting to go sideways.
She's like, yeah, you be careful out there. Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't think I'm going to see you again.
Right.
And that possibility, of course, I did just watch Firefly, so we got our Mrs. Reynolds, the fake wife who is actually just trying to steal your ship and kill everybody on board, coincidentally. It's a wonderful character. So, but you never know.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see that story play out as well, because in the next episode, Miller is saying, "You're a fucking idiot. She probably ratted you out." And I'm wondering if that was true. Did she actually do it? And maybe she's visiting him in the hospital because she feels guilty. But anyway, we can talk about that next episode. I'm getting ahead of myself. So yeah, next episode is one of the best in the entire series. It is CQB.
Close quarter combat, right? That's what that stands for?
Yeah, close quarter. Yeah, that's what it's. But yeah, close quarter battle. I've never heard CQB before, but whatever.
Yeah. I like to think the B stands for bat. I don't know why.
Bat, like
close quarter combat. It's just we're not used to C, so now we're gonna use a B.
I like the bat. Like I think Batman is gonna show up. Anyway, I'm getting sleepy.
Close quarter Batman.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. Do we got anything else we need to do before we close out this episode?
We are golden. I think that was a marvelous recap. I'm pretty sure we went over all of the important things.
Thank you for listening to the Blue Goo Review.
Blue Goo Review, episode 3.
3. And
all right, gang.
Well, see you too.
See you next time for CQB at the Blue Goo Review. Victor, thank you so much for hanging out. And we'll catch you next time, gang. Ba-dum-bum.